Hey, what's up, everybody? Drew Hammond, Tara Talmadge, Alyssa Orange, and this is the Pig Trail. Next 30 minutes, we'll talk all about the Razorbacks. But first, let's revisit the baseball season. Your favorite moment, Alyssa?
Man, isn't it just sad that it's over?
Yes.
You know,
I'll start there.
We went from being in Omaha last year to 16 days to just 6 days.
Yeah.
And, you know, it sucks that the season's over.
I was thinking the same thing as I was walking in.
Anyways, that's just a little bit about how I feel. But when you go back to memories, there were a lot about this team that was really fun to watch this year. But mine's going to be a little bit more off the field. And you got to go back to the Texas A&M series with the national anthem and the picture of Dave Van Horn and that little boy. Little backstory here. Texas A&M allows kids to go and stand out there and sit with their favorite player while the national anthem is going on. And this little kid was scared, didn't know where to go, started crying, and the national anthem came on, and then Dave just kind of cuddled him over under his arm, and he stood there. And so the picture just says how much this game is so much more than the game of baseball and just really what Dave Van Horn stands for. And so as a moment, when I look back as a mom, it just melts your heart. I love that.
Everybody can identify with that.
Yeah.
Tara, when you look
Kudos to Jimmy
forward,
Longo, too, for taking that photo.
Oh, no doubt about it.
That's great.
When you look at the Super Regional, what are you thinking, T?
Yeah, I mean, there, like you mentioned, there were so many great memories from this team, but I just have to go back to that NCAA Super Regional. Not only did they get redemption over Ole Miss, the team that had taken a home series from them at Baum Stadium, but then they also get their trip to Omaha again, even though plenty of people probably didn't think that they would make it back to Omaha. And also, you got to just love that excitement from that team and being out on the field and seeing them all with their Omaha signs and their Omaha-bound hats. It's just such a cool moment to be able to experience.
I got to stay in the Super Regionals right there.
Yeah.
We'll back up a bit, though, from the celebration. We'll go to Game 1. They did celebrate that Game 1 victory. Clearly, Isaiah Campbell, last outing at Baum Walker Stadium, the curtain call. That was pretty cool to see him walk off. I wish he would have finished it. It would have been cool to see that complete game for Zay, but Thomas Dillard hit that home run. He had that home run he allowed against Gray Kessinger in the first inning, but whatever. Forget all that stuff, because they scored 11 runs that day, and he deserved that kind of run support. The guy goes out there. He struck out 7. He goes 8 1/3. So, Zay, tip of the cap to you. Guy goes 12-1 on the season. You know, that's the hardest thing to do, is to follow somebody that was perfect. I mean, when you look at his record, he was perfect. Blaine Knight, 14-0, and not only that does Zay go 12-1, but he had 125 strikeouts. That's more than what Blaine Knight had in his fantastic season, his last season as a Razorback. Quick take, just to, you know, maybe honorable mention. I'll go with maybe the Tennessee game. You know, that was pretty cool. Christian Franklin hit that home run and extended the game in the 10th. That was an opportunity for Arkansas to go on and get a chance to sweep that game against Tennessee. So Christian Franklin, another guy that we should talk about him.
Yeah, I was going to say, all those Christian Franklin grabs, definitely honorable mentions. The kid definitely, as a freshman, stepped up to the plate, playing left field. Really fun to just go out there and dive, and some great Sports Center plays.
Yeah, and the other thing is the emotion. And Tara, that's the thing. I mean, Curtis Washington Jr., I can't wait for this guy to come back, you know, and you're going to see Christian Franklin move to center field, so that left field spot, it's open. You know, we'll see what they do with it. But Curtis Washington Jr., that emotion.
He was the hype man for this team. They needed that as well. You always saw him like in the dugout, so it was kind of neat being up at the TD Ameritrade press box. You could look down and straight in to their area, and you could just always see him dancing, laughing, doing something. It was cool to have that guy there.
Yeah, now let's take some people to Omaha, Nebraska that didn't have an opportunity to get there, because for me, to see the final 8 teams in Omaha, really cool to see. Obviously, the SEC well represented again, but, you know, your take on that, Alyssa, because when you get there, just the vibe you get knowing that this is the finality of the season.
Well, the atmosphere is taken up a notch, and the excitement around college baseball, you're not going to get anywhere else. It's really hard to match that, even in basketball and football, because it's just a different vibe. But for me, it's a little more personal. I got to see the team where I went to school play the team that I cover, and that experience, as I've reflected back on that game, was really cool for me to have, because it's the first time my worlds have collided, and I'll appreciate that game and the game that it was a lot more down the road.
You know, I'm going to go with Casey Opitz here as a segue to you, because Tara, this guy had a couple of walk-off hits that were big for this team, and you know, we talk about moments, but we talk about guys that really impacted this team and had bright moments, big-time moments. Casey Opitz was one of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he kind of flew under the radar a little bit, too. I mean, he was just a leader on the field. He did well for them at the plate. He really controlled those games and controlled his relationship with those pitchers to be able to make them have a better outing than maybe they might have.
The best was, you could hear from the press box, by the way, they had the home plate umpire mic'd, And it was so cool to listen to Casey Opitz behind the plate. So that's something no one else gets to hear. And we're up there, Tara and I, and we're like, he's like, you got this, man.
Yeah,
you
he's
got
yelling
this.
at Connor
Yeah, do it
Nolan.
again. You got it. Do it
Yes.
again.
Yes.
And we're like, it's just really cool
It's
because
cool.
that's stuff you don't even hear from our perspective close to the stands.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to be able to have that mic down.
Has the
and
physical
listen to that,
talents,
yeah.
but the great energy
Right.
and the body language in general from Casey Opitz. Something special there for the Razorbacks. He'll be a junior next season for Arkansas. Our favorite game in this Arkansas baseball season coming up after this.